Welcome to the Kathy Griffin Show. It's not. That's not the title. But I got a lot of requests for the dogs last time. This is Olivia. This is Elliot. I'm actually gonna stand for a while, but I might sit down. One to stop my butt. Anyway, I'm just. What's the matter, Matt?
Just move a little closer.
We spent a lot of time staging this. All right, so this is a t-shirt I sell on my website, kathygriffin.com. But I geeked, well, that's what you call it. You put like gaffer's tape, like if you see on a TV show and they cover like a can of Coca-Cola or something, it means, you know, they can't show it without sponsorship money or whatever. So I didn't know if YouTube would not let me, like I know you can say fuck, but I didn't know if they would like flag me or whatever. But anyway, I sell these t-shirts that say fuck Trump. But what you're looking at is Trump. The thing is, we're all about full disclosure here. Anyway, I'm very excited, and I just want you guys to know there's a dog up my ass, but I love them. I love the rescue puppers. By the way, the reason I refer to someone named Darth sometimes is that I probably tweet more than anything, but I try to keep up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as much as I can. But now I'm trying to learn this like YouTube thing. Because at 58, I hear everyone's talking about it. And by the way, realize I'm trying to appeal to all ages. So I know I get a lot of questions about things that you only know about if you're 14, and I try to keep up. But I also I'm interested to see. Okay, I shouldn't say this. I'm using this to like try something out. I can't say yet what. But here. First thing, look at this. I don't know if you read, but it's all over the news. I have a feature film called Kathy Griffin, A Hell of a Story. Hold on. Woo! Great. Now that you scared the shit out of the dogs. Way to go. You know what I think this is going to be? You're going to hear just a lot of dogs fighting, and I hope you think it's adorable. Okay, so I admit this isn't even hung up properly. Just here, this is what I did. But look at this cool poster. Watch. So you guys know the deal, right? So I made a special that nobody wanted because I'm toxic. But then it turns out I'm welcomed by the film industry, and it's going to be shown all over North America on July 31st in something called a Fathom event. So please follow at Fathom Events on Twitter, and I think they're called Fathom Events on Instagram. They don't have a blue check on Twitter though, but they should. Anyway, it's a cool poster, right? It was premiered at South by Southwest, and
June 7th.
What is it?
June 7th.
Oh, and the tickets go on sale June 7th. So what I suggest, if you want to see this movie, and it's called a docu-comedy. So the first third of it is very gritty. Like, I'm not going to shit you. It's all taken with an iPhone, and there's laughter and tears, And then the second 2/3 are a hilarious comedy special with pretty lighting. All right, so I'm going to act like this is where I would hang this poster. But the poster is very professional. It was done by this guy named Kai Ahrens, who's won awards for posters. All right, so
got a couple questions.
We have questions. All right, I love doing questions. Let me. I'm going to stand because Olivia's got the seat, and she runs the joint. Let me sit with you a little bit. All right, Olivia and Elliot are both 1.5 years, and they're not related. They're from 2 different rescues. Just let me get that out of the way. All right, question, please.
So Connie wants to know.
Hi, Connie.
Kathy, I'm getting liposuction tomorrow. Am I going to feel like I'm dying, and for how long?
Okay, I'm going to be honest. Now, Connie, I actually had liposuction when I was 36, and I think I was either this size or like 5 pounds heavier, and I wasn't even fat. So I wrote an article for Glamour magazine. You should look it up. It was by me, and it was called Lipo Sucks. Get it? Lipo Sucks. So I had really bad complications. And wait, here's the kicker. So at the same time I had lipo, there was a big article about it in People magazine and everything. And it was in the year 2000. I know that's forever ago. But I have this part of my skin here. Here, let me go to it. Right here, I have to put a lot of makeup on. And I have to have it a darker color because I was botched by Botched. You know that show Botched? One of the Botched guys botched me. Paul Nassif. So I go in and I had several procedures, and they did them for free to be part of People magazine because in the year 2000, that was who I was. All right, now can I stay here for a second? I'm not that person anymore. I'm a multi-millionaire who's totally in control of her environment. Please, I'm begging you. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Olivia, I'm sorry. Come back. Oh, great. Dear PETA, Anyway, so what happened was I thought that I had fine lines above my lip and they like burned it off. So I have what looks like a white, like I got milk ad in my real life. Regarding liposuction, my feeling was that number one, I thought my body wasn't good enough and I was wrong. It was perfectly fine. Like when I look at old reruns of Suddenly Susan, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And number two, I'm not going to shit you. It's really painful. So honestly, don't laugh, but that's why I started working out like regularly. So now I go for a 5-mile walk every day and I do crazy lady arm circles and I do 100 sit-ups. And I have a better body than I did after liposuction. So sorry, I'm not pro lipo, but I'm going to be honest, it does hurt. And when they say it's not going to hurt, they're lying. Or they go like this hurts me more than it hurts you. And then they take like a hollow knitting needle and they like jab it in there and get your fat out. I don't know. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
They want you to get next to the microphone.
Oh, they want me next to the microphone.
You might need to be a little closer.
I'm sorry. Okay. Let me stand here then. Okay. And also, I wanted to give you a list of people that I recommend that you follow on Twitter. So one of them, like I said, is called @Darth, and no one knows who he or she is. Can you believe that shit? Like we don't even know the gender. And so Darth writes primarily about puppers. That's where I got the expression. But he or she also writes good like political stuff too. So that's a good one. And I don't know. I can recommend my political ones, but I'm very divisive. But because I'm using common sense. Hey, we should talk about the impeachment, you guys. I mean, everyone's talking about it. Now, I love my beloved Nancy Pelosi, and she is the one who won us the midterms. A discussion about do it, Nancy. But remember, she is the one who won us the midterms. So I'm the living embodiment of someone who doesn't want the orange dumbass or his cavalcade of criminals around for one more minute. But I agree, you guys, let's admit it. We lost the Senate. We lost. We have to win 7 Senate seats. So I think that's why Nancy's waiting. But I think she's going to come around. And I love all the whole gang with the AOC and the Omar and Presley. Like I like the whole combo, But the Senate, we got to get rid of those old dinosaurs. Right? What about the marches? Oh, guess what? If you went to a march, I'm actually quite proud of this. On my website, I sell what I like to say the definitive hat for marches. So it just says resist, and you could wear it on, there's going to be a lot of marches coming up, and they come in 3 colors. Sorry to sell stuff. All right, any more questions?
Christopher.
Hi, Christopher.
Are there any celebrities who initially condemned you for the photo that have since apologized to you? Love you, Kathy.
Oh my gosh, thank you for that question. Deborah Messing. She was the best one. Okay, so the day of the photo, and by the way, I shouldn't talk too much about the film, but I don't like name a lot of names, but I want to give Deborah props because I've known her forever. Like I've known her since I was a guest star on Ned and Stacy back in the day with, who's the guy from the wine movie you like? I think he's right. Tom Church. Tom Church is a very funny actor. So anyway, I met Deb on that show, and she had just been in one movie and been on Broadway. And we became friends ever since. Like when I was on Suddenly Susan, she was next door at Warner Brothers on this show called Prey. And then, of course, Will and Grace and, fellow redheads and stuff. So she was just one of the lefties that came at me that day. And I'm not even sure how it came about, but like, obviously politically, I'm in line with a lot of people that turned on me. That's the thing that's kind of a bitch. But at one point I just reached out to her, just friend to friend. And I just said, I just have to let you know, like that really hurt me. And I told her a few of the things that happened, and she was so sweet. Like she wrote me this letter and she said, I didn't know that it had gone so far. And, I really, really respect that. I've had other, by the way, she then came to see me at Radio City Music Hall, brought people, promoted it on her like social platforms. Like, I just think that's really, I just adore her and I've known her forever. And I just think it takes not only a big person, but I also think it illustrates when women stick together, we really are on the same team. On the other hand, there are some people that like dragged me and like still stick by it. And they need to see this movie because maybe they think I broke the law or something. But, a lot's going to come out in the wash in this movie. And then I'm also going to do speeches afterwards. Afterwards, they have this thing on July 31st called a live event, but you can only see it in the theater. So it's supposed to play in 600 screens across North America and then internationally, maybe like within a week. So if you're watching this, make sure you write Fathom Events and tell them your town, and that if they have a screening in your town that you'll go, because I think that's how they decide. And they have analytics. Anyway, so Deborah and I are back together and good friends and in touch, and I just adore her, and I always want to give her props for doing that because it was really very much appreciated. Yes?
From Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
What do you think about the James Charles scandal on YouTube?
Oh, okay. So once again, like people my age, I'm 58, they may not know about this, but there was a YouTube makeup wars. Now, I actually know two of the players quite well. So I don't know this girl named Tati. In fact, I still don't know her whole name. Like, I don't know if it's Tatiana or whatever, but I still get a kick out of how on one of her tapes, she's like, I mean, I'm 36.
37.
I'm 37. You know, I'm sorry, Tati. Please take this in the spirit which it is intended to me to be 58. And also, I mean, I have a lot of like fakey lighting on. That bitch doesn't have a wrinkle on her face. I want to see her pussy. I want to see the whole thing because, you know, I don't know about the vitamins she's selling, but what the fuck face cream is she using? It doesn't matter. I'm okay about that stuff. I'm not great about it. Okay, so what I wanted to say though is I do know both James Charles and Jeffree Star. So I have proof. Hold on. So for example, I have Jeffree Star's makeup. So I think this blue blood thing is cool because it's like a casket. Oh, by the way, Jeffree, my good friend, I did a whole commercial for you one time just for blue blood, and you never even liked it or retweeted it. A whole commercial for free. My normal rate is $2 million and a half. Jeffree sent me this tracksuit with sisters all over it. And James, oh shit. Oh boy, that was ouch. And we don't edit this live shit. Okay, James Charles sent me this tracksuit, and I don't know if you kids call them tracksuits anymore, but in my day, that's what we called them. And I even did a video for him, like modeling it and shit. So I get that everybody should help each other. And, you know, here's what I'm going to just say. I have like 125,000 YouTube subscribers, and all these kids, and I mean, some of them are even as old as 37, have, millions. And can I tell you who the real winner was in this whole thing? And by the way, I think it's actually really good that they all put it to bed. Like, I remember that young people do that shit. Well, I always think if people are in fights, it's like a cage match. It goes to the death. But I think it's great that they put it to bed, or whatever that means. I mean, it's over it. But did you see that some bro, I'm going to say it's a bro, they ran a rolling scroll of the count of Tati getting followers versus James? I think that person was the smartest person of all, because whoever that was, that shit ran for days. Anyway, I don't know how to get more subscribers. I mean, I guess I haven't been doing YouTube correctly or whatever, but I try to give content that's at least amusing and original. So I was thinking, now, if you recall, the Jeffree photo with Tati, arguably, is what gave her 5 million more followers in 5 days. So let me just say this. I don't know them and I don't have their number. But if I could have Michelle Obama get into a beef with Oprah, and somehow Michelle Obama is mad at Oprah, and she's like, Oprah, I've had it with you. Everyone subscribe to Kathy Griffin. And then a ticker war starts. That's the kind of shit I need. Or, I'm not saying it's going to happen because, Michelle goes high. Or Khloe Kardashian, I believe, announced that she had a nose job, right? And I have had 2 nose jobs. So what I was thinking is Khloe Kardashian gets into a beef with the nose job community. And since I have had 2 nose jobs, somehow she doesn't stop until I get 2.5 million extra subscribers per nose job. That's 5 million. That way I'm in a fake war. Yes, I'm sorry, question?
So we've got just a love shout out from Malcolm. Your humor.
Hi, Malcolm.
Your humor is exactly what is needed right now.
Oh,
and
good.
Then we're going to Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Who was at the private Santa Monica show, which he said was amazing.
Michael, so you were at the show that was the one that was filmed for the movie. So thank you very much. We shot it at the Broad Theater inside Santa Monica College. And it was only 550 seats. Feel like I'm an asshole? Because normally I do at least 3,000. I don't smoke, and I don't think you kids should either. But it looks sort of like a mini Carnegie. So thank you for attending that show.
And
but you're gonna love the documentary part. You're gonna shit.
he wants to know, how is your relationship with RuPaul? Will you be on his new talk show? Love you.
You know what? I was on RuPaul on Logo back in the day several times, and then I heard that someone at World of Wonder, the production company, has a problem with me, which is like the story of my career. I'm not even kidding. I don't know who it is, but I love when they were happy to have me on Logo. And so that's like the story of my life. That's right up there with like all these award shows that I've hosted in real life for free. But then when they televise them, they hire a bigger star. I'm looking at you, ARP Awards. Can I give you a little? Okay, let me explain what ARP is. Anyway, I love RuPaul, and I've known him for years and done his variations of shows. He actually had a talk show on VH1 back in the day. So I love Ru. I love the show. You guys know, I think, I love Miss Vanjie. I think the show has a lot of heart, and I think that's what makes it a really, really good show. Okay, so besides that, wait, what's he was about to spell? Shit.
RuPaul. You were talking about Logo. You were talking about.
Somebody will remind me. But
Okay.
this is how my act is. It's very tangential because I don't really know what I'm going to say, except I can plug another item. Who would like a discreet mug that says "fuck Trump," where I took the F out? But when you go on kathygriffin.com, it won't have it. Although my number one seller is this. Oh, okay. I have some fun tea for you. So I'm friends with Aubrey Plaza, and she was one of the people that actually came to my house like days after the Trump photo when everybody was afraid of me and everybody heard about the death threats. So they were like afraid to even come over and stuff. And Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Recreation, who's quirky and weird, is deep down the sweetest, lovely woman you could ever imagine. So she calls me up and she's like, "Do you want to bring over a casserole?" A casserole, like it's the 50s. And like she did. Randy, what did she bring over? She brought something like food or something. It was like a funeral. Yeah. It was, Anyway, so I just adore her, and I hope I don't get her in trouble, but she sent me this text, and I don't know who it is, so I need young people to help me. But it's Aubrey, clearly with a poster cutout of someone from the young people's world, and I love that she's put a Fuck Trump t-shirt on his head. So Caleb is a young gay man who works for me. Caleb, who is this young man and why is he famous?
Oscar nominee Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, the guy from
Call Me by Your Name.
Okay.
And Lady Bird.
Okay. So I get it. So here's the deal with this guy. I think this guy checks off all the boxes because I know him from Lady Bird, and I'm a nerd. So like if I was like a teenager, I would have a crush on him. How old is he?
He's like 22.
22 is a little old for me. Kidding! Oh, by a year. Everybody, let's not send that to Breitbart yet. All right. But of course the gays want him because, duh. So I hope I didn't get this young man in trouble because it's obviously a cardboard cutout, but it shows that Aubrey Plaza is supportive and has a sense of humor at the same time. Wait, what's his name? Charlemagne the God?
No, Timothy Chalamet.
What's his real name?
Timmy.
Exactly. His name's like Tim Jones. Timothy Chalamet is your real name? All right. Does he go like by Charlemagne? Because when I asked Plaza, here's what I thought it was. By the way, I was texting with Aubrey Plaza.
That's a cutout, by the way.
It's a cutout. It's not the real Charlemagne. Okay, so I go, and I didn't know who it was. And I go, Aubrey, I don't know who these young people are. I go, is it Charlie Puth? And then she would write a joke, so I didn't know if it was. And I go, is it Sam Mendes or Shawn Mendes? Anyway, can we be honest? There's a bunch of these young white guys that kind of all look alike. So, I mean, pick your poison. Anyway, it's a cardboard cutout. It's not his fault. And Aubrey was just trying to have fun. So don't at her. That's what they say. Yes.
So Dino Cells 18.
Hi, Dino Cells 18.
Hi, Kathy. I love you. I was wondering if you're ready for the new Celine Dion album. I love her and got my tickets for her new tour a few weeks ago.
How could you even ask me that, you fuck? No, I'm not ready for the new Celine album. I never am ready. It's an emotional ramp up that I don't even know if I'm up to. I love her. Once again, I'm not, you can promote people's stuff on this channel without getting a kickback. I'm telling you to follow her on Instagram, and it's an order. It's not even a gay order. It's a cross the line, straight, gay, fluid order because she is just amazing. And everything about her is amazing. And also, I get in trouble for gesticulating a lot. My facial expressions are nothing compared to hers. And just the facial expressions alone and knowing that the voice goes with it. And, we've become like kind of friends now. Like I haven't seen her for a few years. I'm sort of full of shit. But like she's like takes my jokes now a little. So of course I love her more than anything. But I don't know if the new tour is going to have all new music or covers. But one time she told me she was going to cover a version of Roll in the Deep by Adele. Adele. But that song is sad. My ex-assistant Tiffany used to listen to that 21 record over and over.
By the way, how's Tiffany? People are
asking. Oh, okay. So if you guys don't know, my former assistant Tiffany, who's very happily married with 2 gorgeous children, get this, lost her grandma and her mom 2 days apart. So I went up to Tracy for the memorial and stuff, and she's just a rock star. So she still has a fantastic job. Can you believe it? Better than this. One time I FaceTimed her, and she was like in the middle of like running a big board meeting. And I was like fucking around with her, and she works for a really big company. That's all I'm going to say. And so she was being polite at first. And I was just saying heinous things like, where's my laundry? God damn it. Which she's like, she never did my laundry. And anyway, she turns the FaceTime around and there's like 20 serious executives. And luckily there were like 3 gays who were like, oh my God, it's Reba. And we just ended the call. But anyway, please, if you want to follow her, I think she's at Tiffany Helzer, Helzer on her socials. So she'll, if you like, pictures of children that are adorable, you better get on that right away. I love her. And we're still, we're going to be best friends forever. What else?
How are your dogs doing?
Oh, all right. Let me check on the dogs. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? Okay. I'm going to tell you some stuff about the dogs right now. The little guy, Elliot. First of all, I thought at 10 weeks I was getting a pit bull and a dachshund. No, a pit bull and a chihuahua, because I read that when you get them at that age, they're good companions. And I'm a pit bull fanatic. I just love them. And, God love the rescue community, but they will lie right to your face and say anything. So you can tell, if I may, here. This is not a chihuahua. This is like a dachshund chihuahua. Who knows? Maybe like a little border collie. I don't even know what he is. But I will tell you this. Look at how adorable he is.
His dick's out.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. He's got a semi all the time. And that's when it isn't a full hard on. So I've had, issues with men my whole life. So I'm not really that surprised. But he has apparently a sheath that is too short for his ginormous, outsized, like little cute dog dick. So I actually went into the vet. Look at this. Look at this. Don't even call me a pervert. This is not my fault. Okay, it's not his either. Okay, how dare you? So I went in, and if you could see that vet visit, where the vet's looking at the semi, and I'm trying to sort of not look at it, and then they said maybe they could stretch out the sheath, and I was like, you know what? We're done. We're done. So here's what I've learned. I've learned that it's about accepting people for who they are. And there's a lot of talk about that, about body image and what have you. You know what no one talks about? Accepting cute little dogs who are perverts with a semi all the time. And here's the best part. When he gets anxiety, he chews his dick. And I am not kidding. He doesn't blow himself. He's fixed. He chews his dick like it comforts him. And if I could tell you the list of men that I wish would chew their dicks, but don't, then I don't know what to say about this poor little guy, but it's not his fault. All right, go on. Let's see if he does it.
Shout out to Brandon in Washington. He loves you.
Hi, Brandon.
And then Monster Rocket.
Hi, Monster Rocket.
Once Aubrey Plaza is great, but did you end up bonding with any super supportive fans when all the Trump shit went down? Because you can come over to my house and have casserole anytime. I got you, girl. I
love it. I also am glad that we're bringing back casserole. I'm glad it's having its day again. There is one fan that I did bond with, and I talk about him in the film, but that's all I'm going to say because I'm got to tease you. So yes, it's possible. I also got to know more journalists in the last 2 years than celebrities or anything. So that's one of the reasons that I do a lot of posting and reposting of news stories and all that other stuff. Yes.
Giselle.
Hi, Giselle. Or Giselle. Really, it's your choice.
What are your thoughts on Roseanne bars controversy almost a year later.
Okay, so I just saw today that Roseanne did yet another interview where she was asked about getting in trouble on Twitter, and then she said that she has she doesn't tweet as herself anymore. She has multiple troll accounts. And then she goes, I think everybody does. And I'm like, no, I don't. I think that's weird. So if you have multiple troll accounts, by the way, and if you're a middle-aged woman, there's issues there. But just even one troll account is too many. Why don't you just have the account as yourself? If you're going to have another account, I don't know why you would do it. I don't know, unless you're like catfishing somebody or some shit. Like, just have one account. You know, how about that? I thought that was very weird. And by the way, I know this world very well. Like my timeline, I've talked about this a lot. My timeline is still like overrun by people like that have multiple accounts just to come at me, and also, bot farms and all this other stuff. So I thought that was kind of a showbiz shocker that she said it. I think she said it today even. So, I'm watching all the crazy from all levels. Anymore, or if not, I can always pull up.
Pull some stuff.
Yeah, let me pull some stuff. All right, I think I sell copies of my book on my website, and I think I signed them. In fact, I'm sure I did. Oh, also there's posters of the tour, the Kathy Griffin Laugh Your Head Off tour, world tour. Yeah, I'm global. All right, wait, what else did I want to talk about on my list of notes? Remember I had that list. Oh, thanks. Hold on. I'm giving myself talking, but this is how I do my act. I just kind of. I wish you could just see this. I lay out the case why you should care about impeachment. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at myself. Who the fuck do I think I am? Anyway, the reason you should care about impeachment is because a lot of people go around saying, I don't have time to care about politics, or all politicians are liars. And I'm just saying, I've lived through many administrations, probably more than most of you watching, and this one really, really is different. And so it shouldn't be bipartisan, which means whether you're Republican or Democrat. But you should care about impeachment because that's the only thing that's going to get this ball rolling. Because right now we are actually headed toward an authoritarian or kleptocratic type of administration. And if you don't know what those words mean, then, read a book. No, but you should care because just honestly, you can keep up. Just watch like an hour of MSNBC a day called The Rachel Maddow Show. Not that I'm influencing you. Yes?
Do you cook? If so, what's your favorite dish to make?
I cook trouble. Huh? It's got a cauldron. And I'm doing Roger Rabbit, sort of. Okay. I still do make an infamous recipe you remember from a little show called My Life on the D-List called cake soup. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not proud. I'm not proud of myself. Okay? Just being honest. So I've been going through this phase where I've been having Cool House dirty mint chip ice cream. I put it in, hey, focus. I put it in my KitchenAid mixer, and then I'll throw in like a random extra ingredient. It's like, you know why? I feel like this is what I feel like. I'm now convinced the planet has 2 months left. 2 months. I love Al Gore, who thought it has 50 years and then 20. 2 months. Have some ice cream. All right. So anyway, these are some of the items. Like last night, I had a couple of guests come over and they brought some pastries, right? As like a nice guest thing to do. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, those look good. And I'm looking at the fruit ones like, no, yawn, no. But I saw that there was a chocolate brownie. So I hid it. And then last night I took the Cool House Dirty Mint chip out, put it into the KitchenAid, split it in half, and then took the brownie and ground it like an animal. And then I just put it on number 1 and number 2. And then I scoop it back into the pint, which I've said openly, I consider to be child size. And sometimes I have to refreeze it for like 5 or 10 minutes, but I feel like I work at Cold Stone. Remember, do they even have still Cold Stones around?
Yes.
But remember Cold Stone, there'd be like that chopping person, often bitter. Like if I can just throw that in. Often, like the one at Hollywood and Highland, often the Cold Stone person was bitter. And I remember thinking, at least it smells good in here. So anyway, I sort of turned my kitchen into a Cold Stone like franchise that really no one knows about. I'm not saying you should. I also drink a very healthy green drink every day. I prefer one called G-Lixer, but there's also one from this Press Juicery or whatever. What's it called?
Press Juicery.
Press Juicery. And what's the vegetable one I get?
You like Greens 1.
Greens 1. See, I'm getting no kickback. I just been keeping it real. And sometimes I make a smoothie with only fruit. Like people think you need to put in weird like ice cream and shit. No, I got a lot of secrets. Yes.
Did you watch Paula Abdul at the Billboard Awards?
Back off, you motherfucker. Let me just tell you, Paula, you know, I support her. I blame whoever was doling out happy pills. And I'm not implying anything by that, except that, you know, let me tell you something. I watched that tape of Julianne Hough, and that shit was funny. I'm sorry. And also Julianne Hough, I thought, had a genuine reaction, but also took it well. And Paula flipped that fedora like it wasn't the first time. Like she's done that to guys before in fights, maybe, allegedly. But yes, I watch everything Paula Abdul does. I really wish they would bring that show back, or at least rerun it somewhere, because if you ever watch the Hey Paula, every frame is delicious. And they should do a Blu-ray. Like I would do a 50-hour binge. I would watch her read the phone book. Paula Abdul, use your head.
Liz, do you prefer The View or The Talk?
Ooh, do I prefer The View or The Talk? All right, I mean, I like them both, but I probably would be more inclined, I don't know, I'm banned from both. I mean, The View, gee, hard decision, like it matters. I mean, The View allows more politics in the beginning, which is, you know, how it started when it was, you know, Barbara and Joy and Lisa Ling and Debbie Matenopoulos and Star and Meredith. So that was the original cast, remember? Remember. And The Talk is, you know, like they're more focused on keeping it a little bit more light and like women's issues and stuff like that. So I like them both, but I admit I do like that The View is one of the few daytime shows that does bring the up to the minute political, you know, stories with at least a certain amount of largesse to actually have a conversation about. I mean, sometimes, you know, it doesn't go so well for the ladies or they don't get along or whatever, but at least they're talking about it. And so it sparks a conversation. That's my new phrase.
What television shows or documentaries are you currently watching?
Shit, I was going to make a list. Okay, what are some of the ones we've been watching lately? Okay, Chernobyl on HBO. This is a narrative show, and Jared Harris is in it, and Emily, what's her name? Not Emily Mortimer. The other Emily, the one from Drunk Love with Sandler. Anyway, so it's fantastic. I can't recommend it enough.
What's it about?
It's about the there was a nuclear meltdown at a plant in Russia called Chernobyl. But what's so prescient about watching it today is that, you know, obviously it's timely that they're showing what it's like to live in an actual socialistic society, because people think Russians are, you know, they identify as communists and stuff, and it's really dictatorship. And it's a kleptocracy as well, which means they give money to oligarchs, and that's why they owe Putin favors. But anyway, it's just a good look at a lot of people that, you know, are bitching about our system of government, which is flawed. But when you look at something like Chernobyl and you see how hard the government wanted to crack down and how many lives it cost and the years and decades of denial, and that it took even this long to even make the series, it has a great, like, you're going to feel it in the back of your head, like, oh, this has a meaning to what's going on today. So that's really good. And then documentaries. Oh, we saw so many good ones. Oh, okay. This wasn't a documentary either, but did you guys see The Act with Patricia Arquette? So it's based on a real documentary called Mommy Dead, Mommy Dearest, which of course I'd already watched. I mean, based on the title alone. And it's about this woman with Munchausen by proxy syndrome, and her name is Dee Dee. And she raises her kid to convince the kid is sick and act like younger than the kid is. And they get all these like donations and stuff. And it starts out, this is not a spoiler alert. So the daughter and her online boyfriend freaking kill her in episode 1. But you got to see the whole thing to see how it went down. And then you're going to want to watch the documentary again, which I did. So I watched it first, then the series, then the documentary. I mean, it was riveting. What other doc stuff have you been watching? I'm going to write down the names next time. I'll do a whole recommendation list.
Did you watch Madonna on Eurovision by chance?
I didn't see Madonna. Was she a hologram? I'm still dealing with hologram. You know, that was $5 million. I wasn't sure when Madonna turned to dust if it was a hologram or it was like an effect. I'll be honest. Like, I will say, when she did the hologram at the billboards, it was like an advent calendar. If any of you were raised Catholic, they have like little windows. And that's what it sort of felt like at the Billboard Awards. Like every time you'd see a Madonna, to this day, I'm like not really sure which one was Madonna. But I'll take any of them. I don't want her to turn to dust. Yes.
Lots of questions about Mayor Pete and your thoughts on him.
Well, I think it's actually smart, and I didn't think I would say this. I think it's smart that Mayor Pete did the town hall on Fox because, first of all, if Trump is tweeting against any Democrat doing a town hall on Fox, now I think they should. I mean, it should be only Chris Wallace or Shep Smith. I mean, that's like the key. So I think what was interesting is that the Fox audience applauded when Mayor Pete talked about being, openly gay and social issues that Fox News is so behind on and stuff. So I actually thought it was a good idea for him to do. Now, on the other hand, I can see why someone like Elizabeth Warren doesn't want to do it because, I don't believe that they would be fair to her. Hold on, I'm obsessed about my bangs. While we're talking about the presidential election of our lifetime. So I don't know, but there's a part of me that would like them to all do town halls. Now, I think a lot of these Fox viewers, if you're believing like the conspiratorial shit that they talk about on their primetime shows, which is just really off the rails, then I don't know if it will do anything. But I kind of think it's good. Did Bernie Sanders do this yet?
I don't think so.
I think Bernie Sanders is going to do it. And, I think that's going to do well for Bernie because a lot of those Trumpers were like, we hate Hillary so much because she has a vagina, that we'll vote for anybody. So I actually think Bernie will do well. I think the interesting thing will be, in my opinion, well, not in my opinion, Fox is so sexist that they've all been like either fired or paid literally tens of millions of dollars out for sexual assault. Like, I hope you guys know that, including the late Roger Ailes. May he die in peace. So anyway, then I would like to not see any of the women being treated differently than the male candidates, which I find hard to believe that they'd be possible of that. But it could be helpful. It could be helpful.
Bonnie loves your eye makeup, and is it lavender?
Bonnie? Oh my gosh, thank you. All right. So here's the thing. It's funny because in the makeup wars, I actually was using some of everybody's makeup, and don't laugh, even Kris Jenner's. Remember when she took over Kylie for like a day or whatever? So watch her come. I know, it's a little edgy because it's like purpley and sparkly. But I just mix and match stuff. And then I just put so much light on that it just looks like I'm in, the Joshua Tree on the hottest day of the year. But I try my best.
People want to know if you're watching Mom and June.
Okay, let's talk about Mama June.
Janelle from Team Mom.
Okay, thank you for questions about Janelle and Mama June. Okay, let's start with Janelle. The husband's a Nazi. Allegedly, in my humble opinion, he reminds me of people who are Nazis. Look, have you seen those pictures? First of all, he's got the Confederate flag. He's got a gun on the dashboard. We all saw the episode where Janelle got into a road rage incident where then she herself, with that poor little kid, Jace, and then she actually, she fired around. Okay, so then David shot their dog in the woods. What is this, an old episode of fucking maybe our RFD? What's going on?
Old Yeller.
That fucking, Old Yeller? What's wrong with that psycho? So, I, in a way, being a woman, I feel for Janelle because she keeps picking these abusive or allegedly abusive guys. But this guy looks like he just beats the fuck out of anything he feels like it. Also, he's starting to dress like those Proud Boys. I don't know if you're aware of this. There's a Nazi group called the Proud Boys, and Roger Stone uses them as security. So everything's on the up and up. Anyway, I guess it's cool now for young white guys to just not wear hoods and be Nazis. But yeah, the guy that Janelle's married to, I truly fear for the safety of all of them because he just looks like a guy who's going to, in my day, we called it going postal. But, his reaction to everything is like a big red flag. So I think it's probably a good thing she's not on the show. But then I heard they're going on like a couples boot camp or some shit. How about check the guns at the door, right? Okay, regarding Mama June. So I didn't watch it because and I met them actually one time. Like one time I was doing some weird gig on the Insider and I like interviewed them when Boo Boo was like a little kid or whatever. So I kind of kept track of like the family a little bit. And of course I kept track of the arrests, which is key. So I will tell you that Gino raises some suspicions for me. And the fact that Mama June got totally remade and she's like hot now. So instead of the show being from not to hot, it's now just turned into, I'm going to go with two crackheads or meth heads. I don't know their drug of choice, but I'm alleging that they're on several. And it's my understanding that Mama June is now living in a riverboat casino. Now, I have played those. They can be rough. Don't act like I'm making this up, my friends in the South. But let me tell you, I have never even heard of someone who's living in a riverboat casino. I've heard about people who visit and, play the nickel slots for a while. And that worries me. And also, I guess Boo Boo is now living with Pumpkin. And by the way, we're acting like that's all normal. That's not her government name. And so I watched a bunch of episodes, ironically, like 2 days ago. And the last 3, I'm like not emotionally strong enough to watch yet because for some reason, Pumpkin comes on camera like this with like a patterned background behind her and does this disclaimer. So every episode, I'm nervous. So she comes out and you can see her reading it and she's like, none of us knew that what my mama was going through was such a hard time. We did not know at the time that we had this reunion that, Gino had just left jail. Something was different about Gino after jail. Yeah, no shit, Pumpkin. That's usually how it goes. But anyway, Pumpkin is apparently raising Boo Boo. And, but I'm just saying, like, I think it's good that they're dealing with what's happening in their real life because how can they not? But I'm going to be honest, it looks like every time Mama June and Gino are on camera, it looks like they're both just fucked up out of their minds. I mean, even for like the glossy sit downs. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know that world of drugs, but I don't think it's a couple of Bayer aspirin. And once again, not a pain. All right, what?
Brandon,
Hi, Brandon.
Have you talked to Wendy Williams since she announced her divorce? I
have not spoken to Wendy Williams since she announced her divorce, but I have certainly posted many times my support for Wendy. I also don't have her phone number and she's talked about this, which I totally get. She said that like she's sick of like all these years of being famous and being a DJ and having a talk show for like many years longer than most people do. She just basically told me one time, like, I just can't keep giving out my number. And I was like, I get it. So for a while, I think I had a contact info for her, or I would just see the show, but I fully support her. And here's why. She's a really hardworking woman. As long as I've known Wendy, I mean, remember, she started as a DJ. I will always respect, except Ryan Seacrest, people that are DJs. Because, all right, I admit, even Ryan puts in some hard work from wherever he does that show. Like his bathroom in a I don't know where, a mansion somewhere on the road. But anyway, Wendy, did many famous interviews. You can look up a famous interview she did with the late, great Whitney Houston that really made a lot of noise. And then she's been doing the daytime show year after year after year. And honestly, it's one of my favorite shows to do because we always have good talks in the commercial break. And I just, like I said, I think she's a self-made woman and a hardworking woman. And I don't know the deal with the husband, but I know that, I don't know if I ever met him. I don't really remember seeing him all the times I've been there. But I think it's great that she was open with everybody about it and continues to be. So I have a ton of respect for her, and her fans love her. And she is not afraid to spill tea. So, of course, I love her for that as well.
Rain.
Hi, Rain. I thought it was the topic. I was like, is the house leaking? No, I say that with love, Rain. I
was wondering if Jane Fonda had any good advice for you after what happened to you.
Jane, let me think. You know what's interesting? It's funny you would say Jane because I got an email from Lily Tomlin's wife, Jane Wagner, that I was going to ask her eventually, will you let me post this? Because it was so beautifully written. By the way, those of you that are Lily Tomlin fans, who's on the show with Jane Fonda right now, Grace and Frankie, then you may know that Lily's longtime partner, now wife, Jane Wagner, has won Tony Awards for Lily's shows, and Lily always gives her props, and she's an amazing writer. So she wrote this letter about the incident that was so gorgeous and eloquent and comforting and had a lot of information. And, those two have been feminists, longer than I have. And so that's something I'm going to think about asking if they're okay with me publishing it, because I don't want to get them, have the haters go to them and stuff. And Fonda, I've seen a couple times since then, and we haven't talked about this particular issue, but, I've talked about, I even wrote about it in one of my books, that after a breakup one time, I just kind of barely knew her and sort of cold called her and just said, I'm going through a breakup and I don't know what to do. And can I just come over and hang out? And she said, okay. And I went to her house and she was sitting on a bark lounger blogging. And I couldn't believe it. She was super non-movie star-like, and she's super smart. And she gave me great advice. Like, by the way, I never forgot this advice. When you're going through something like a breakup or something very traumatic, right? And you get to decide what that is. She said, don't do anything dramatic for a year. Like she said, don't buy a house, don't sell a house, don't start seeing someone new, don't, change your job if you can. Like basically, when you're in such an emotional situation, really take your time. Don't go on a spending spree, like stuff like that. And it was really helpful to just think like, okay, if I was ever tempted, when you're going through a bad time, you think, oh, fuck LA, man. I'm going to go live in Tuscaloosa and be a whole new person. Everybody's had like that fantasy. And it was her way of saying, no, your issues follow you wherever you go. And, if you haven't seen the HBO series about her, I believe it's called Jane Fonda in 5 acts or 5 chapters. It's fantastic. I mean, it was riveting. Once again, I could have watched it for 50 hours.
Brian,
Hi, Brian.
Are you rolling out a cosmetics line?
I love that question. Honey, I could very roll out a t-shirt. I love your confidence. I don't even know if I have any more items to show, but I would have to like do a collab, I guess, as they say, with someone. So, are we showing the book again? This is for sale on my website, kathygriffin.com. This is also for sale. This was a #1 New York Times bestseller. Thank you very much. And once again, a lot of resist caps. Now, here's the thing. If you flip them around, they say fuck Trump. So do you like the genius of that? So like if you're in a place where you can't use profanity, you just flip it around. But then when you want to go home and dance around or put it on
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet's head, if he's a poster, you can do that too. How do I keep coming up with it? Sorry, the dogs are just like wandering.
People want to know your thoughts on Kim Kardashian and Jack in the Box issue.
Okay, so first of all, I don't know the update. So I read the tweet like you guys did last night, and it was something to the effect of Kim Kardashian West saying, before I put you on blast, Jack in the Box, DM me. And like, not or else, but it was kind of like, I hope we don't have to put you on blast. And then I just read a lot of jokes. Like, I think like a bunch of other chains responded, like Wendy's and stuff, or Burger King or whatever. So what I thought was funny is, being old timey, like you guys know I am, I believe that Jack in the Box didn't know how to DM her. And I believe they tweeted, we do not know how to DM you. Please reach out to us or something. So it's like they have me working on Twitter, frankly.
Well, she said.
So what happened?
Okay, so originally she said, hey, Jack in the Box, I have a serious complaint. But I won't fully put you on blast. Check your corporate email inbox or send me a DM with direct person for my team to contact. Pronto. Okay, so I would have instant diarrhea. I would be 10 pounds lighter, and I would be talking to you from a pool of diarrhea, but because I'm real. Because that's a fucking scary tweet, because Kris Jenner's behind her with a shovel in the desert. I'm kidding. All right, so what happened? And then she says, I would like to add that this is not about me or a wrong order. Nobody recognized me, and it's something that I observed that affected other customers at this particular location that was concerning. Oh, wait, so because people were accusing her, like they were saying she was going to go on and go, how dare you be in existence when I went there and no one recognized me? So she's saying, no, it's not that. She's also saying it's not about an order. I'm going to go with racial. Well, did you see like a racial injustice there? Maybe, but then she said later last night, thank you, Jack in the Box, for the quick response and handling the situation. Okay, thank you, Jack in the Box, for handling what situation? I know. Well, let's just start guessing. Okay, I would say maybe she saw something where a person of color was treated worse, or maybe she saw something where someone was putting something weird in the food. Although, I mean, I think you know the joke, like, who the fuck knows what's in there? But what could upset Kim? But they cleared it up. So it couldn't just be like she wouldn't like get someone fired. That's not her nature. So I doubt it was like a cranky employee. So I'm gonna text her. By the way, I'm sure out of anyone who's asking, she's gonna choose Kathy Griffin to keep the secret. They all do. Do we have any update on that? Because this is breaking. No, that's it so far.
Kim, North, call Aunt Kathy. Psalm, just get out of that, buggy or whatever, and get to work, honey. You should be making money by now, and you should be working as my assistant. So somebody give me the real story. I want answers.
Your thoughts on Meghan McCain being insufferable on The View?
Sorry, you gotta laugh. I know Megan McCain does not laugh at this sort of thing. I do, because I've been called so much worse that if somebody called me insufferable, it's funny. Look, that's what The View does. They pride themselves. They always want to hire that one. I always say that one blonde, right? But it does tend to be a conservative blonde mom. I don't know if she has kids. I know the husband gets mad and angry tweets and then deletes. I don't want to liken them to Janelle and David from Teen Mom, but I'm going to. Because in fact, I'm going to leave it at that. That's a lot of tea. Just that sentence alone. It's gonna set her off. Fucking husband, little thing.
Did you see her on Seth Meyers when they got into like a spat?
Yes, I saw the segment with Megan McCain and Seth Meyers, and here's the thing: Seth is a very bright guy. He's a very nice person, and I thought he composed himself very well, and I thought he was asking legitimate questions. Also, I guess the stuff that cracks me up is I face questions like that are like they're so much harder, and they are genuinely personal that I have to answer. I mean, you can look up online. I did a show overseas on the BBC called Hard Talk. And I chose it because I wanted to do the most difficult show, like to show that I could, answer anything to the best of my ability and that nothing was off the table and nothing was personal. And the host, Steven Sakur, and I actually are friendly and, but he went at me hard. I mean, I was glad I did it. I mean, I'm in the commercial now, for Christ's sake. And I had like my short hair then, it was during the tour. But I think when you're in this business, even if you're only in this business for like a year and you're on TV, you know that those questions are coming. And so, no, I didn't think he was hard on her. I'm laughing because I'm thinking of interviews I've done where I've been called like all kinds of crazy names right to my face, like everything from like just ugly to a member of Al-Qaeda. I'm like, no, I didn't think it was too bad. That's me. Yes.
We have a question about your thoughts. This is from Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Is the Illuminati and MK Ultra real in Hollywood? Oh shit!
I guess I got an email. Okay, the Illuminati is real, I think, and I'm not sure. But is it like the literati? Because I did write a book. All right, I know the literati is real because, Joyce Carol Oates is in it and stuff. It's people that write books. Now, the Illuminati, I'm all right, I'm going to be honest. There's some of these expressions I still don't quite get. Like, I know the Illuminati is some sort of underground. Are they like Masons? Because I heard Masons are scary. Ever since I was a kid, I was like, don't go to Masons meeting, like Elks Club. No, different animal. So I don't know if the Illuminati is real, but I'm happy to look into it and get back to you. And if I meet one of them, I'm going to tell him you got a few thoughts. Who else?
MK Ultra is a CIA mind control program.
Okay. Sorry. MK Ultra, Caleb is telling me that it's a CIA mind control program. Is this a Trumper who hopped on here? This is a little QAnon for me.
Okay, we can move on.
I know. I maybe you're saying it in jest, but I will say one of the reasons you should care about politics now, okay, is because honestly, the amount of conspiracies going around, like the QAnon stuff, and there's many of them from that 4chan and then 18chan and 16chan, all the chans are trouble, and that Gab is like all Nazis, and so just be careful of like these message boards. They're not news organizations. All right, what?
PC Fangirl wants to ask celebrity mole stories.
PC Fangirl, you remember that I won the Celebrity Mole? Hi. Yeah, and by the way, I get offended when people say like, oh, you were the mole. I'm like, no, fucker, I won the Celebrity Mole. But wait, I'll tell you this part. This is some good dish, and I'll leave you with this. Okay, so I had done Suddenly Susan, and wait, had I done Suddenly Susan? Or I was about to do Suddenly Susan. I can't remember.
2001.
Oh, okay. So I'd done Suddenly Susan. So this was that period. I actually write about it in my first book where I just couldn't get arrested. I came off a show and I thought I'm just going to go right to another show. And I didn't work for a year. And in those days, that was bad. Now it's been 2. All right. But anyway, so they asked me to go on the Celebrity Mole. And I really liked the real mole because I thought it was a difficult like reality game, not just like a bitches fighting and snatching wigs and stuff. And so, I mean, in a non-feminist way. I don't mean like in an adorable way. But anyway, I wanted to go. on, and they asked me, and they said, and you can get $25,000 for the charity of your choice. So I said, well, who else has signed on? And they go, well, we're out to Queen Latifah. And right away I was like, right, like Dana's going to do it. So I wrote them back and I said, well, let me tell you something. My name is Kathy Griffin, and this was before the D-list show started. And I go, so, you know, now that I'm out of work for a year, I guess I'm a little D-list, but I need that money. So I personally talked the celebrity mole out of giving the celebrities, like making them give it to charity. And by the way, we all know what happened with The Apprentice and the Donald J. Trump Foundation. You might want to Google News that. News, by the way, news, not someone's meme. So the deal was everybody got $25K to last even one episode, and then you got $5K more per episode. And I think it was only 6 episodes. But yeah, I just talked them into going like, no, you just really should pay us because we're working, and I'll decide when I want to give charity money out. And by the way, you can check, I post all the time and links to give charity. I'm a charitable person. I just kind of thought you're kind of getting a lot of programming that you guys are going to make a ton of money from, but I got to give it to charity, you know? So yeah, I'm kind of proud of that. And of course I lorded it over the rest of the cast. Like I was like, you know, if it weren't for me, you'd be doing something good with this money. But because of me, you get to be selfish and keep it. All right, I love you guys. I'm going to sign off, and the puppers love you as well. And thank you for watching. And surprise cameo by Elliot one more time. Oh,
There
semi.
it is.
Semi.